appreciate it, man.
Hello, everybody. Royce Eddings here, and I want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel, The Four Horsemen, your ultimate destination for all things rock and roll, classic rock with some heavy metal thrown in. We are celebrating the legendary artists, the timeless albums, and iconic anthems that define generations. We cover the music you love, the stories behind it, and the history that made it happen. So I want to welcome everybody, and I want to welcome my panel. And let me introduce my panel. Next to me is the one and only Michael Nolan. And Michael has a fantastic show. I always encourage everybody to go over to Michael Nolan's show and subscribe. We just came from Michael's show. He streams at 5, and we're all there on his channel. Then at 6:30, we all come over here to the Four Horsemen. And Michael is a co-host on this show as well as running his own. Directly below me now is Just the Facts Man, Dan, my good buddy. We go back maybe 5 to 6 years.
Yeah,
We've interviewed some rock stars together, and we had a lot in common with some of the people that we've been around on past shows and things like that. And there's still some of that today, with Caitlin and some of the others. And anyway, we've had a good time, and Dan's got a big show, and I encourage everybody to go. The name of the show is Just the Facts Man, and his name is Dan, and he covers a huge variety of topics, but he's really into rock and roll bands. He has a lot of connections in rock and roll bands, and in fact, I think you told me, Dan, December 16th, you're going to Birmingham, England.
That's right.
Where Black Sabbath and Ozzy just performed their last final show, and where Ozzy was born, buried, actually. And so that is amazing. And I know you're going to bring back all kinds of film and stories and do shows on it and all that good stuff. And
Royce and I will promote the hell out of that one, Dan.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Really looking forward to it. So anyway, next to Dan is the one and only Chris Elliott, super knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He has a show. It's on Zoom, right, Chris?
Yeah, you can access it through, excuse me, on my channel on the About part. There's a link in there and a short explanation about it.
Okay, good.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a volunteer music program that I do for seniors. So.
Yeah, awesome. Does it for seniors. That's an awesome, awesome.
Well, on behalf of the world of seniors, Chris, we thank you.
Hey,
that's exactly right. And I just want to say to Dawson Walters, he made some great comments earlier in the chat before the show started. And we had a full panel tonight, Dawson. And whenever we've got all four horsemen, which isn't all the time, we just go with the four horsemen. And then if we're missing somebody, somebody can't make it, then we're happy to have you on, brother. So anyway, we're going to get into this. We're going to have a good time talking about this.
Hey, Royce, I did want to bring up, this is something I made clear. I consider Novus Nick and Dawson two excellent examples as one of the four horsemen, but they're on the rotating basis. And Dawson, on my channel, whenever you make a comment, we're getting better and better at this. Anyone from the Four Horsemen who makes a comment on what we're talking about, Kimberly sees it. I'll always feature that just as much as I would a super thanks comment. So, brother, as far as I'm concerned, your aces in my book. I think I speak for the panel regarding
Michael. I couldn't have put it better. Well, tonight, folks, we're going to be covering now. I received the box set early in November, and I did just a brief show on it because I had mailed all of my, co-hosts, Michael, Dan, and Chris. I had mailed them. Chris does CDs. He's got the most amazing CD collection I've ever seen. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, it does.
Every show. So he got sent CDs, but the other three of us got vinyl, and so we all have our sets here, and so now we can do a real show. Everybody has knowledge, everybody has the information, and what we're talking about, of course, is the box set. Who are you? And this one comes with 4 albums. the original Who Are You album, which I already had a copy of, but it also comes with an additional 3 albums of all live recordings, and mostly in Michigan, Detroit, and one other location, and then some places in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but mostly in Michigan with the live recordings.
Yeah.
But I listened to them. I've listened to them twice now. I really enjoyed listening to them. Michael and I are the same way, and I don't know how Dan, you and Chris are, but we have really grown to love the live recordings.
Yes.
There's just so much more nuance and extra stuff in the live recordings, that's not left on the cutting floor, so to speak. So anyway, we're gonna get into this, guys, and it starts out with this wonderful booklet, and many page colored booklet. And I showed a bunch of this. I'll just make myself big for a couple of minutes here. I want the panel all involved in this. It's got a bunch of wonderful pictures. It tells some great stories.
I love the coloring. Now show the coloring on the inner sleeve just before that, Royce.
Okay, on the inner sleeve, sure.
Yeah. The booklet you got, and just open it to page 1 and the back of the cover. Look at the color of that. Now go to the back. Yeah, those are the 2 prime colors that are really pushed on the original album. So that's to give you the flavor of the album.
Right.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know, Nolan. Nobody uses the word neat anymore.
No,
I thought it's neato, groovy, peachy, keeny.
Neato, right? I mean, and you know what? I don't know if you guys noticed this, but on the first album, Entwistle had 3 songs, 2 on side 1. I think they were track 2 and 3, and track 1, I believe, on side 2. And he did a really good job too. He seems to be the only other one that wrote any of the songs other than Townshend. I'm sure there's collaborating going on all the way through, but Entwistle was a great bass player among other things. So anyway.
God. One of the very best. Many would say the best in classic rock. He's in my top 3 for sure.
Right. Okay, well let's just get the whole panel back together here, and for a general discussion, Michael, we can start with you and rotate down below you, and then over to Dan.
Yeah. My opening statements was first of all, I was going to get this album because it's got Keith Moon on it.
Right.
I was going to
last Keith Moon album. Yes.
Yeah. It's the last Keith Moon album, and it's not one of my favorite albums by The Who. Okay. So, but I was going to get it, and when Roy said, "Yeah, I'm going to buy this for you," I was going, "God, what a great gift!" Because now I don't have to go out and buy it. First of all, and it would have been probably the last album that I would have picked up by them. Okay. Even the group has discussed this many times, that they wish they had never put out the album. Part of it is the production, and I concur wholeheartedly. Too much trying to sound like radio-friendly stuff, and that's not The Who. And so that was my criticism. I listened to it all the way through, and I'll have more to say about the album in a minute, as the album proper. But the transfer, the Half Speed Master, all of that's great. And there are 3 songs on there that are amongst The Who's best stuff. Okay, so I'm not cutting it down. It's just, I think, the weakest of The Who's albums, and even their members seem to concur with that. But here's the special thing that I got that really, I started just super appreciating this gift, Royce, and that's the live material that we'll be discussing. And I'll just give this little tidbit, and then I'll give everybody else a chance to say something. Is Kenny Jones, for the most part, although Chris could argue this tonight, is the drummer on all these live cuts. There is a couple, or at least one I'm aware of, that Keith Moon was at a Toronto show, Chris, where he's doing the live drumming there. But the rest of it's pretty much Kenny Jones, and he's very competent. You got to understand, Kenny Jones, hey, man, he's got the same pedigree as Ronnie in the Stones. So he wasn't a lightweight they were bringing up, but in a way he was. And when you listen to them live and you listen to Live at Leeds, you understand Kenny Jones nor any other freaking drummer that ever touched the Who could touch them. But I will say this about the Kenny Jones performances. He does play it a bit safe. He doesn't have those mad moments, but he's tasteful as hell. And to present these songs, and it's with the live recordings, you get some of their very best material and a few of the songs from the album. What do you guys think?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Well, you know, Michael, the more I worked through all of this, the more I realized I became a bigger fan, you know. And this album has many, many great songs that I really enjoy. And I really enjoyed hearing them live as well as on that, you know.
Right. And the ones I have, it's not the song material. It's the production and the instrumentation, the orchestrational elements of the album that kind of spoil it for me. It's like they were trying too hard to make AM instead of just FM. You know, that kind of approach. And like I said, Roger Waters and especially Pete Best have said in the past, yeah, we shouldn't have released it. You know, we were taking wrong advice and everything like that. So, Royce, if you say there's a plethora of songs here that are great, I agree with you. I just don't like the way some of them. Who Are You is got to be as good as anything on Who's Next.
Oh, yeah.
Anything.
I agree. I agree, Mike.
Right. So that's my caveat. But you're always going to get it the honest, straightforward with me, Royce. I won't panty.
Oh, no.
Waste around or anything.
You know what, Michael? I wouldn't have it any other way.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much for your super chat.
I told him more coming after payday.
That's how it usually is with me too. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we're at the end of the the last 10 days here. We got to be a little careful. You know.
Yeah, the end of the cycle, right?
But I always support you, brother. And like I said, more's coming.
We all support one another.
Yeah, Dan and Royce supported with 2 very generous gifts tonight, and made me feel guilty. But I see these guys do it from their heart. I will too. I'm getting over to Dan's, and I'm going to promote the hell out of that. You know, because I believe. I gave like $3 or $4 $5 super thanks to a couple of streams that were doing it over the last week. I try to I tithe what's given to the channel and support what I know is good for the channel and everything. Right. And so, you and Dan, I think JCM, Primetime with Vinny B, these guys got something to say, and they stick with they can get as controversial as anybody, but they stay away from the politics and religion and all of that like we do. I want to encourage more content creators to do exactly that. So thank you guys.
You have to stay away from that, especially these days.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing normal about any of it anymore.
Oh, and by the way, Royce, can I do a special shout out to Vance? I didn't know he was it. I didn't get nary a chance to look at the comments tonight.
Okay.
And Kimberly told me that, oh no, Vance was in. I said, oh, I wish you had told me.
I interacted with him quite a bit. Kimberly even gave subscribing to his channel a shout out.
Yes, you told me that. I was glad to hear that, but I would have liked to have given him a vocal shout out because I'm following his current series on Led Zeppelin singles that he, oh God.
I haven't started that yet. I told him I was going to go do it.
Yeah. So anybody who hasn't gone over to Zepp Earl, we're talking about Vance, Zepp Earl, the channel. He's got a great set. He's got German, Italian, Czechoslovakian copies of Led Zeppelin singles from all over. So any Zepp heads, man, get on over there and subscribe to him, man. He needs to be bigger.
Yeah,
as does Royce. Yeah,
he needs to be bigger,
as does Dan. As does Chris.
Why, thank you, Michael.
Well, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, brother. We need to.
I know you do. I know
You know,
do.
I see. I have a vision, Royce, of a group, a network of channels that work together with just a couple of pre-coded agreements. You know, no politics, no religion, philosophy when it comes along. When we're talking classic rock, and I'll be damned by high water that I will one day accomplish that. And I consider Dan and Chris and Royce, JCM, Zep Earl, Soul Train Bro. These are all channels. I know I'm missing one. By the way, I didn't bring up Just the Facts Man tonight on my thing show. I brought up his super thanks, but I always want people, you know, you'd be doing me an honest to God solid by subscribing to all these channels, because I hope for a greater connection in the future. Enough of a commercial for both Royce and I, but you know.
Right. Well, yeah. So Chris, some opening statements, brother?
I want to say it's been a long time since I heard the album. I know I listened to it when I was younger. I just, don't remember. So the first time I listened to it, I didn't get it. It didn't really impress me much. But then yesterday I listened to it again, and maybe I was just in a different mood or mindset.
Could have been.
But I got it, and I liked a lot of it. And then I was listening to the companion disc, and I was thinking, wow, I can, I like some of the way they did with this, and like the Who Are You, the John Glenn's mix. Right. I was listening, and the first thing I noticed was on the right channel, Pete's guitar was tuned way down during the maybe, I don't know, the chorus or whatever it is. I'm not a song guy, but it just, I noticed that and a few different things. But then I noticed like what was it? The music.
I wish they had kept Glenn Johns' mixes. I think there was a problem with him not having the control because they wanted to go with a different sound. I wish they had stuck with him. I don't think he was the right producer for the Eagles or even the Stones, but or engineer, I should say. But he can be cantankerous. Tim and I were kind of going back and forth in the comments. And that's what I'm jealous about. What you have is you have those Glenn John mixes.
Yeah. Well, actually, to be honest with you, I don't have the live CD. It's all like this. Just the 2 CDs.
Yeah, there was four or five different ways to buy it. Now, the most expensive, well over 100, like 120 or something, was CDs. And I don't remember how many CDs there were, but there were a lot of them.
Looking at it right now, it's
I've been listening to it on Apple.
Yeah, it's $170 or $167 Canadian on Amazon, and it's got 7 CDs and a Blu-ray.
Right?
Yep.
So it's probably closer to what you guys got on LP.
Even though we're all collecting vinyl, most of us are collecting vinyl. I know, Chris, I asked you if you wanted vinyl.
I don't have anything to play it on.
That's what I know. I would have sent you the same set we all got. But I would be tempted to have that other big CD set, that you were just talking about, because there's
I've been listening to it on Apple Music, Royce, and for those who collect, I don't collect CDs, but if I did, I would have bought it in a heartbeat because it's got great stuff on it. Like the Glenn Johns mix, I've been listening to it. I have full access to the whole party, and I think they made a mistake by not keeping Glenn Johns on for the full thing, keeping his mixes and everything. And I'm not a major Glenn Johns fan all the way. When he fits good. I love the early Eagles albums, but then him and who was it? Not Don Henley, but the other co-owner, Glenn Fry. Thank you. They've clashed heads because Glenn wanted a rock band, and Glenn Hughes was going to have nothing to do with it. He can be a bit cantankerous, but it doesn't mean he was pissed that his version of Let It Be wasn't okayed. It was almost okayed. I've heard that I think the Beatles made the right decision to do what they did.
Yeah,
sorry, Glenn, but let
me do a quick shout out here. Rockin' Robin Bird, I want to thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you and the support that you give to the channel. Thank you so much.
Oh, Rockin' so consistent, isn't she, boys?
Oh yeah. So okay, so Dan, have you had much opportunity to listen to the albums, or?
Actually, I haven't, not yet. And
okay,
but one thing I'm looking forward to is the live section of it.
I know, and that's what I've been enjoying that today. Yeah,
I love live soundtracks, and you know,
I do too. Yeah,
the Who is one of those bands. Is one of those bands that did do a whole lot of live recordings. I mean, they did Live at Leeds back in 1970.
Right.
You know, but a lot of other bands, Zeppelin, everybody always had a lot of live soundtracks. But
a lot of live, yeah.
They were too busy putting out albums, putting out live ones. So I'm really curious to hear this one right here.
Yeah, and when I compare it to Live at Leeds, it doesn't quite hold up. But then again, it's mainly they have a more compact mix to the center. But the one thing I did notice on this mix, and tell me if you guys agree with this. I heard it on headphones. I like to listen on headphones. Yeah. Okay, what's the intimate experience here? You have Roger Daltrey's voice right up front, center stage, the drums center stage with minor leakings, barely, at about 22 degrees of the stereo image there. Okay, so it's not exactly mono sounding with the two of them. And then, of course, Pete Townshend is to the listener's right, and the bass, which usually on live albums get redirected to center channel, is slightly to the left. And god damn, I thought I was at the Cow Palace again, Royce. That's the freaking Who, man. And that alone makes this set the best Christmas gift I've gotten all year, Royce.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I really
man, the mix is great. Now, Live at Leeds, that's this mix is par excellence, and Live at Leeds is a freaking masterpiece live album. It'd be in my top 5 or 6 live albums of classic rock easily.
Yeah.
So this one holds up well with another Who live masterpiece. It holds up very well.
Yeah. No, I've really enjoyed listening to it.
God, I've just been at Christmas all for the last 2 days, brother.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, it's good to finally open it. I kept apologizing to Royce in our private messages. I need some time, man. I need some time.
Hey, Michael Chavez. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Well, Dan knows what I'm talking about. He hasn't quite got to it. I mean, it's exactly. A busy life out there, man.
It's a busy life out there. And when you're collecting vinyl, sometimes you're collecting it faster than you can listen to it.
Oh, that's true for me. And I've got a small little weenie of a collection.
Then you got to remember to go back.
Yeah, I've got it. I said 10 to Royce the other day, but I'll bet you I have 20 or 23, 24 albums that I've bought that I haven't had the time to actually crack open and listen because I'm so busy with the channel,
Right. Yeah, no, you're very busy, Michael.
But I put this one to the front of the line because, first of all, it was such a wonderful gift. And I knew Royce wanted to do this special episode where we could all kind of get together and discuss it. So it got right to the front of the line,
I've been wanting to do that. I just knew that I'd ordered this box set like a month early. Same with the Hendrix one, Axis Bold as Love. I ordered that a month and a half before it was out. But anyway, I ordered this early, and I knew once everybody got their hands on it, we'd probably have a saturation on YouTube of reviews of it. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to pull it out, get it out there, be maybe one of the first guys to show a little bit of it. And then we'll all come back later when everybody receives their, receives their album, CDs, whatever. And then we can do a more, more complete show on it.
One thing I did want to say, the book has the same thing as the cover here for its front cover. And what you get here, there is a slight satin sheen to it. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. But then when you get to the album as it was originally intended, let me take it out of the sleeve here. You've got this high gloss. See the difference, folks?
No, there's a big difference. Yeah.
This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Look at the photo and tell me which finish looks better for this black and white rendition of electricity and the danger of it. Same thing with the back. Look at that high sheen. I know it looks purdy, but then you look at the photo on the actual box set, and it has the same. Look at that. There's hardly any reflection at all. This works better with the black and white. Is it actually black and white? But it's muted in its colors.
Black and white, but it's
very muted. You can tell they drained a lot of the color.
It's not a high gloss.
Yeah, this was post-production, and it better fit. What does the Peanut Gallery think? You guys have seen this now. This one with just a nair of reflection versus the album itself unsleeved. All right. And it's high-end reflection. A lot of people like this. And you know what? I love these too. But I like to see a more modern artwork when applied to this much. I know I'm a stickler, but that was one of the things I noticed when I first opened it. I go, hey, wait a minute. How come the box cover photo looks better than the freaking album? I had to actually work my way through it. I go, yeah, the album somehow doesn't, because it's so damned high gloss. Yeah, it just doesn't send the same message to me. Yeah, see, Dan's doing it. There you go. Yeah. Versus this. All right, Dan, hold that back up. Hold that back up. I'll hold mine up. All right, see, there's the reflection of what I've got versus Dan's, which I also have.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
Yeah. Now, the high gloss does look at first glance like, oh, yeah, top quality. But the artistic aspects, I don't need to see my direct lighting in the damn thing where you can see how many cells in my lighting I have. Dan's lighting, you can actually see his lighting device. I'm pointing mine at a mounted high-end lighting device right now, and all you see is the general light of it. And I think the reflective quality, especially with the no bones, just the bare photograph by itself works better. Look for comments in the Peanut Gallery and feature them, Royce, on that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, Dan's always got the most quality lighting and stuff in his studio.
Yeah, he does.
It's just everything is perfect. I mean, when he puts a green screen up, it's a real green screen. Your hands aren't disappearing, and your forearms aren't disappearing at the elbow. I mean, Dan's he gets all the right stuff and puts on a really nice. Some of those screens you put up lately were just fantastic, Dan. Thanks. I mean, it really makes the whole show better, really. But anyway, so let's.
James. Excuse me, not James. I am one of us says. I like both high gloss and the low gloss, so it's a tie for him.
I liked them both too. Let's see, where's his comment at?
He also said it's down at the bottom. He says high sheen, like Charlie. I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any more.
The high gloss.
Jersey Devil says. The plain finish without color enhancement will age better. High gloss shows all the wear. Well, that's a good point. That's true.
It does. You get a lot. It takes in the dents if you bump it against the edge of a table. you know, and it's there forever. That's another reason I don't like, you know.
Yeah, nice screen, Dan.
I know. I did an album and I errantly chose high gloss on it.
Yeah.
You know, and let me
you know,
show you what I'm talking about.
That's why we don't paint the ceilings in our houses with high gloss. It shows every imperfection. You know?
Yeah. This still got the wrapping on it. This is the CD. By the way, I just featured a truncated version of this CD on my members only videos. It's like a 48-minute mini film special production for my members, the tribal elders and tribal chieftains. This is it in 3D, you know. But I chose this damn high gloss. Look at that. See, it's the same thing. So I've made this mistake, folks. All right, for this photo, I need this was my artwork that I put in there. All right, and then I took a drawing in and then added the special effects on a computer, right? And for what I presented here, and the shadow's too dark. See, 20 years later, I go, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do that, and you dumb shit. And so that's what I'm saying right now with the Who. I think they would have hit the mark a little better with a soft satin sheen or no sheen, like what we got with George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. I've got an older copy of that. It's got darkenings and dungeons and stuff, and it just looks better as it freaking gets older. Something about that photo, black and white, you know, that box. Oh, great.
Okay, so let me ask you guys. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the lineup and stuff. You know, the classic lineup of Roger Daltrey vocals, Pete Townshend guitar, John Entwistle bass, and Keith Moon drums. I mean, what? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Before we get into that, because you know, I kind of got cut off by Michael when I started describing what I was talking about on the.
Sorry about that, brother.
Oh, don't worry. It's a common occurrence. I'm used to it, my friend. That's why I just bide my time and, you know, butt in when I can. No, but
the sound you hear, folks, is the whip he's applying to my back right now.
That's right. No, but I was going to say, I started saying it, Michael Chavez mentioned it in the chat as well, is on the companion disc, the two songs with Pete's guide vocal. Actually, there's, the two songs, New Song and Guitar and Pen with Pete's guide vocals. It's interesting to hear his vocals, and you can see that he's just laying them down so Roger can come in afterwards. But it's an interesting mix, and who knows what would have happened if they actually had used that recording.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds different. I mean, it's, you know, there's obviously two completely different voices, but it was an interesting sound.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to highlight what Michael Chavez was saying about that.
Okay. Yeah. We've had some great comments, and I'm glad you highlighted that. Okay. All right.
I'd be interested in how many of the Peanut Gallery have purchased this one way or another, or are they listening to it on streaming?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just want to say, guys, throw my little impassioned plea out there. We got, I think, in the high 30s likes, and 50 is that first milestone to give you a little bump in the show being distributed to a wider audience. And the other thing I want to ask, so if you hit that like button, much appreciated. If you're not already a subscriber, and I think most of the people watching the show now are, but, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 times that many are going to watch later, you know. Later tonight after the show, there are people watching that never come to the chat, which is fine. You know, watch it, enjoy it. Not everybody wants to come to a chat. But there's a lot of people watching that we don't know about, and they're going to be watching over the next several days. And I'm still getting views, sometimes as many as 300 a month, on videos I did 3, 4, and 5 years ago.
Isn't that the weirdest?
So it just keeps happening. Sometimes I'll look at my highest ranking videos in my analytics over the last 28 days, and 3 of them are old. You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny, you know. I've got a few shows that just keep, I mean, even some of the old construction shows just keep cranking out you know, cranking out views, you know, and likes and stuff. So anyway, yeah, if you hit that like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, do me a proper and smash that subscribe button. It's right there on the screen. And when it pops up, you know, you like it, you hit it, I mean, and then you can also hit that notification bell and you get a one-time notification that a new show's coming out. We do a live, this is our live every Sunday stream at 6:30, covering a different rock and roll topic. You know, we vary sometimes, you know, there's so many different genres related to rock that we move around a little bit. But primarily we're classic rocks, rock and roll, some metal, some heavy metal, not all heavy metal, but you know, I mean, who doesn't like Metallica or you know, Black Sabbath, or I mean, you know, AC/DC. I mean, there's plenty of them that we do like. I'm not going to sit here and try to name them all right now, but they're there, they're out there. Trust me.
Notice who he didn't mention, folks.
Who is that, Michael?
Led Zeppelin is not heavy metal.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, this Who Are You album was the Who's 8th studio album. And of course, we released it in this huge different, I mean, 70 unreleased tracks are available on that big CD version, you know. Newly mixed live tracks, newly mixed, not remastered, mixed from their first tour without original drummer Keith Moon, candid recordings of the band rehearsing in 77 and 78. I mean, the big CD set is a monster. It has a ton of stuff. 7 CDs, 1 Blu-ray, you know, brand new Atmos with that overhead surround sound that Nick Novice Nick was talking about. He has that at his house, and he brought that up on the last show when he was co-hosting. Okay, so anyway, so it was released, of course, in the 4-album box set and the 2 CD deluxe edition, which we're all familiar with because between the 4 of us, we all have one of those. And it's also they also have a limited edition, just the original Who Are You album in yellow vinyl, half-speed mastered, okay, that you can buy solo, just that single album. So anyway, released in 78, Who Are You marked a significant chapter in the Who's career, okay, while a commercial triumph peaking at number 2. Guys, this was number 2 on the US. Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to drop out for about 10 minutes. I got to make a phone call about my dad, so I'll be back. In about 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Hope all is well, Chris. Okay. Thank you.
Thoughts, brother. Thoughts.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
So it was a commercial triumph. Okay. Hit number 2 on the US Billboard 200, achieving double platinum status, and number 6 on the UK albums chart. It was also, of course, we mentioned this already, tragically the last album that featured Keith Moon. So anyway, you know, Keith Moon was just
how
amazing.
long after the album was released did Keith Moon die?
It was like a week, about a week.
About a week. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I was amazed that it sold that well. I guess Tim from Music Life said that it was Tim's Music Life. Is that right, Tim? If not, correct me. Give yourself a shout out. But he was saying Grease kept it off the number 1 spot, which I can understand due to the popularity of that.
Well, yeah, right.
But I don't like Grease, so.
Right.
There's like 2 songs on that entire movie that I actually like.
It was a whole different animal. You know, it was something that was very
I was
popular
well
at the
into
time.
my 20s when that happened, and all my brothers were still in their teens, and they fell for it hook, line, and sinker, and I hated the damn thing. You know,
and I bet you still have some flared pants hanging in your closet somewhere.
Oh, only
just messing with you.
Only Kiki D knows that, and she ain't telling.
That's right.
You know, it seems normally like when an artist passes away, a lot of their catalog sales go through the roof. You know, and you would think that would have happened after Keith passed. You know, but.
Well, I think because the album wasn't all that it actually a number 2 album. I in my freaking dreams, you know, as an artist,
in the U.S. on the Billboard 200, it was number 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So a number two, that I think that did help it because I don't think the album is anywhere near
Okay, you don't think
something
it would have
like
gotten?
Who's
You don't think it
Next
would have
or
gotten that high if Keith
no, I
hadn't
don't.
died?
Quadrophenia,
That's possible.
Tommy, I would rank all those albums above it, and I have criticisms of Tommy, right? So odds and sods, is that it? That's better.
With the football helmets on, yeah.
Yeah. So I like those albums better. That's more Who. This doesn't quite at times. I mean, Who's Next? The song sounds just like it was freshly stamped off of, not Who's Next, but Who Are You? It sounds like it was freshly stamped off the recording sessions from Who's Next. So there is some prime real estate here. It's just not all of it, you know?
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Well, Winslow out in the chat just put what date the album was released and when Keith Moon passed away. It looked like it's about 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah. So that could have very well been part of the reason it sold so well. What does the Peanut Gallery think? Do you agree with me, or am I way off base on this?
Well, I never really considered it until you brought it up, Michael. So I'm thinking about it. Major events like that, like somebody dying, can really make a big difference on the sales of something.
Yeah.
But I'm just not. I just can't say for sure how I come down on that.
I mean, when he died, John Lennon's entire catalog started selling. Double Fantasy finally started selling. People were ignoring it right and left. And it has some of his best written songs. I know it's got Yoko on it. I can't help it. You know, I don't want Yoko on the album, but his songs were so good, I bought it. And I'm sitting here screaming to the clouds, what the hell? What is wrong with everybody? This is one of his finest albums, you know. And even Beatle albums increased and started recharting.
Believe it or not, Michael, I have that Double Fantasy. I don't have
I've got
individual Beatle albums, but you know, when they pop up anything to do with the Beatles, anything to do with Led Zeppelin, you know what I mean? I just have to buy them. I mean,
and truth be known, I'm not a Yoko fan, so forgive me for saying this, dear Lord. But her stuff doesn't sound horrible. It's the best she's sounded anyway.
Well, I haven't even listened to it yet. I have to be honest, and I haven't heard anything from her that sounds good yet. So I look now you've inspired me to listen to it.
Yeah, I just wish they'd put her stuff on side 2, his stuff on side 1. That's what I did. Is all my albums, I'd play them once, I'd record them on metal, high-speed metal tapes, and then transfer those to tapes I could play in my car. And I just put all his songs from Double Fantasy and Milk and Honey, and I made up my own Double Honey or Milk and Fantasy album.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, Michael,
the most popular glucose meter online and decided
what's going on here?
Shut up, Siri.
I'm having something go off here. Okay. So anyway, I haven't
that damned woman needs to find a new job.
I haven't heard much of anything good from Yoko, I got to be honest. So I look forward to watching that or listening to that, because I'll tell you something. I have everything I have that has Yoko in it. She's in the background doing what they call caterwauling.
She actually sings on the
one scream after another.
Yeah.
I went through an entire side of a Fillmore East. When Zappa invited John and Yoko up on stage after his band was finished, you know.
You get songs on this.
And I got an entire side of an album where she just does that yell in the background. I'm like, wait, am I hearing this right? This is insane.
Well, Peace in Toronto's that, you know. But no, she has songs, but she is a trained musician. She caught on, but you get little ditties like kiss me, love. You know, ooh. I don't know. It just doesn't. It just sends a very haunting chill down my spine.
Haunting chill, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not horrid.
Crazy.
You know, at least you can listen to her in a different context than say live piece in Toronto.
Right. Winslow, thank you. Hit like and subscribe. I like that. Anybody out there that's not a subscriber, I want you to listen to Winslow Red Cross right now.
I love Winslow because even if he misses your stream, he's sure to catch up on the replay. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
James Watson said something in the chat that I don't know if he's saying tongue in cheek or not, but it says, of course, we all know that fake story about Paul McCartney dying.
Right.
And he says, when Paul McCartney died, it really helped the sales of Abbey Road. Now, there may be some truth. There may be some truth
I
to
never
that.
Thought about that
because there's a lot of people that did think he died, and they probably rushed out to get that album.
Yeah. Oh no, they were. There's no doubt. Matter of fact, Paul kind of even
really,
sort of admitted to not making much of a much of a comment about it at the time because it didn't hurt our album sales. Yeah. So Paul knew that. Yeah.
Right.
He just let those rumors kind of fly. My big, and I have viewers who truly believe that he's William Campbell and Paul died in 1966 in November. Okay, so the only problem with that theory is, first of all, they got a guy that looked that much. Supposedly he was right-handed, so he retrained himself to left-handed, and this guy can now play piano, drums, bass, and guitar, and sing, and can write like the original McCartney. That's taking it too far. I can't even contemplate that.
No, it's just
But it's fun to follow the death clues. I've done videos on it, and I've taken it seriously. I've told the whole tale.
Well, I remember. I mean, I was a teenager when that whole thing went down, and
me too.
It was a real big buzz at the time, and
especially amongst the girls at school, right, Royce? Oh, Paul died.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was the talk on campus, man.
There people were kind of split evenly whether they believed it or not.
Oh no, at the time, some of us were actually starting to believe it.
No, well, that's what I mean. It was split. Some people believed it, some people didn't.
Well, I do know one person that could pass for Paul McCartney in his younger days is Mitch Weissman. He's the one that portrayed Paul McCartney in Beatlemania. Not only does he look like Paul McCartney, but he sounds like Paul McCartney. Not so much now.
Are you talking about the original Beatlemania?
Yeah, the original.
I saw the original Beatlemania down in San Francisco at in a theater, and he certainly did, Dan.
Yeah,
he looked real close. He even made a guest spot on Laverne and Shirley, and even on that episode, he looks real close to McCartney.
Well, he used to guest host on a podcast that Royce and I used to go on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've talked to Mitch Weissman quite a few times. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I only saw him. I didn't get backstage or anything, but man,
he actually did a song for Kiss as well. He worked with Kiss for a while.
Oh, did he? Oh, cool. Yeah. Very talented.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that, Dan. Thanks for reminding me. I'm so much more connected now than I was a few minutes ago.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
I reached out to a couple of people. Joe Travers, the vault master for Frank Zappa. He controls all the tapes and is involved whenever there's a new release and stuff like that. I reached out to him before I did my last Zappa show, hoping by some miracle he might come on the show. What a great show that would be. Zappa's Vaultmeister, however you want to say it. And then I reached out to Ed Stasium a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Used to work with the Ramones.
He produced the Ramones, and not just the Ramones, but a bunch of other bands. And he used to play in a pretty good, band of his own when he was younger, And he's a pretty good dude too.
Yeah, now Ed Stasium's much easier to get a hold of than Joe Travers. Joe Travers, he does not have anything on the internet. He does not care for the internet. So,
right,
because I've tried to search for him, I just can't find him.
Well, he's on Facebook.
Is he?
Yeah, you'll find him on Facebook. I found him on Facebook, and he says he doesn't respond on Facebook. What did he say he responds on? Maybe email. I think I sent him an email. Found his email.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, you can get a hold of him. Maybe between the two of us, we could double time him and get him.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable about Frank Zappa, because he's in control of all that, and he's a real funny guy too. Very funny guy.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Yeah. Well, what was cool was I came across these new Zappa releases. They were called Halloween, and they were colored vinyl, like orange, like pumpkins and stuff. It was two like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 or something like that. And then it wasn't long after that oh, Chris is back. Okay. It wasn't long after that. Chris. Okay, let me throw the link up, Chris. All right, the link is up, Chris. So anyway, it wasn't long after that here's Joe Travers on talking about those two Halloween albums that they did.
Yeah.
And on Facebook. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let me get Chris up here first. He's popping in now. Hey, Chris, everything going okay?
Yeah, find out a little more tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope it all turns out good.
Nothing overly bad. He's got some swelling in his mouth and his neck, but he's getting some dental work done tomorrow. So maybe I'll find out more after that.
Oh,
yeah. I had a back tooth break. I got to get that finished. I just had to re-up for all my. Well, I don't want to get into it too much. Part G, the Medicare supplement that picks up the stuff that A and B don't pick up.
Oh, yeah.
And
See,
B only picks up 80%. You're still stuck with the other 20%. If it's not hospitalization. So.
And at our age, that could be substantial.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Let me tell you.
Well, I got a program. A friend of mine.
I couldn't imagine paying full price if my dad was in the U.S. and we had the same situation. I don't know how we'd be able to do it.
Well, I hear you. It could get ridiculous. So a friend of mine sells all those different kinds of Medicare type insurances, Part G's and all the different other kinds of parts. And I called him and he goes, did you know I moved to, what was it, like Ecuador or someplace? Yeah, Ecuador. He moved to Ecuador. He goes, we really like it down here. It's, cost of living is like super cheap compared to up here. And so anyway, he's still selling his insurance. He can go anywhere in the world and do that. So he hooked me up with something that sounded.
It's an online business these days.
Well, that's right. A lot of them are. Hey, Joseph Blue, the Paul is dead rumor first circulated in 1966, gained broad popularity in September '69. So that's how long ago that was. On American college campuses, an article in the Drake University student newspaper, September 17th, 1969. Wow, that was a long time ago. I was just starting to buy Credence and Cream. Some of you like to say the Cream, but it's Cream. So anyway.
Yeah.
So
one of us does that now.
So Joseph Blue, thank you. I wanted to mention Joseph Blue gave me a super chat last week, and I didn't see him earlier. I didn't say anything, but thank you so much, brother. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that all of that information he just shared is absolutely true. Got to a radio station. They started theorizing about it. It went rampant from that part. It took weeks for the whole world to be connected to it. So it was quick.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, folks, I did really like this album, Who Are You? And I really enjoyed listening to all the lives and stuff like that. So, this band, The Who, they pushed a lot of boundaries, They influenced so many people. They influenced, they're credited with influence in British punk, so
they
many
were
people,
mods, but
they were absolutely mods.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So
you
that's
remember.
their connection to punk more than anything.
Right. And they referenced the incoming influence of British punk, you know, most notably the late the title track written right one night they were out with Steve Jones and Paul Cook of the Sex Pistols, and it reflected the sentiment of music must change. And Sister Disco, two songs I listened to about 3 times a day because they're on different albums, live performances and stuff like that. So anyway, they influenced a lot of people. I enjoyed them. I was really kind of reading along where I could with some of the lyrics and stuff. And
Speaking of reading.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you have something to read. I really enjoyed reading along with the lyrics, and they're really good lyrically. I got to tell you guys that.
Oh, he's a great lyricist.
It's not always easy to understand. It kind of helps one time to have the lyrics written. But okay, so what were you going to say, Chris?
Oh. Well, I'm just watching the private chat. Somebody just loaded up Caitlin's Krusty Krabs, Royce, and backstage.
Wait.
Yeah,
you're looking at the private chat.
Yeah, I just started suddenly just blowing up. Whoever that is needs to be kicked out.
God, let me see.
There's only one person that is famous for that. We all know who it is. Bye-bye.
Okay, here's the private chat. Oh yeah, I've got like a million.
Yeah, it's just continuous. It's like
my God.
What a mucker futter.
Yeah. Because I was just looking at the screen and suddenly I saw the numbers of private chat going up and there's over 100 now. There's probably
go back to Rachel's ghost, and she thinks you're a good boy. I don't. I think you're a piece of shit myself.
You know what? I'm not getting the 3 dots on the right that lets me deal with this right now for some reason.
Well, ignore him. He's not in the trap, is he?
I don't see him in the chat.
No, he's in the private chat.
I'll keep an eye on the chat. If I see him, I'll kick his ass out of here faster than shit.
That's what I'm
Several
wanting to do.
of my tribal elders and warriors of your show will do the same.
Yeah.
You piece of crab, apple, nothing.
This is very irritating to me, guys.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We're trying to have a discussion on the fucking Who, you asshole. You know, and you have to come in here in your small-minded, dweeb-ass way. Go get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because we all know you can't hook up with one to save your freaking life with. Sorry, Royce. This guy pisses me off to no end.
Well, he's not visible on the normal channel, so let's just just move on. I'll see what I can do about this later.
Well, you know what, Royce? You weren't even looking at it before. Just quit looking at it.
Yeah, no. I am.
Let him fucking spin his wheels. You know.
All right, I got something that can add a little levity to the situation.
Good. Okay, we need that.
We do need that.
Earlier, I was watching a bunch of different little small biographies or kind of thing about the Who, and one of them, Pete Townshend, was talking about in the early days and how he started doing like breaking up his guitars and that. Well, he said he was doing this. They were in this little club, and he was just doing something funny with his guitar, and he caught the neck of it on the ceiling and broke the end of it off. And he says, "Oh, he didn't know." And he goes, "Well, I look like a fucking idiot now, so might as well make the best of it." And he smashed it up on stage. And he said the next night when they were playing, somebody at the crowd started yelling, "Hey, break up this guitar!" And then basically, he said it kind of became part of the show. Like people would almost be upset if he didn't break a guitar.
Yeah.
Right.
And then eventually that started costing the band, and then they.
Well, he felt it was his gig, and he was really pissed at the Monterey Pop Festival when Jimi Hendrix did similar things, setting his guitar on fire. Yeah. So he thought, "Hey, dude, that's my gig. Stay away from that."
Well, he said for a while he stopped doing it, but the people in the crowd just got pissed off, and so he went back to breaking up his guitar and amps and that again.
Hendrix used to light his on fire.
Didn't Keith Moon blow up his guitar? I mean, his drum set one time.
Yeah, on the Smothers Brothers show.
Smothers Brothers
completely destroyed Pete Townshend's eardrum.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's still suffering. He's still suffering from hearing loss to this very day because of the Smothers Brothers show. Yeah, they knew it was coming, but nobody knew that Moon had put what quarter stick, eight stick dynamite pieces in there or something like that. Totally blew them out of the way.
Yeah, no, that was really dangerous what he did. I read about that.
Oh, God.
Not real smart, but he was crazy anyway,
Didn't they get banned from the show?
I
would assume so, but
I don't know.
Like curiosity.
I didn't hear whether they were or not. Smothers Brothers show was known for not letting anybody tell them what to do. That's why the early demise, despite the fact that it was super popular,
Yeah.
I watched it every freaking week. I don't know about you guys, but
I did. Yeah. Everybody loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, I was a fan of theirs when was it Tommy or Dick? It was Tommy comes back as an angel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I'd watch that every week. So I went way back to their original TV show. So they had a variety show. I went, oh, cool.
And they were that show was totally anti-establishment, big time.
Oh, totally. I really liked the one where the chick would get up and she was a hippie chick. Oh, hi, man. Oh, yeah. I was feeling the vibes from the audience, man. You really peace and love. And it was supposed to be a one-up, do and die. She was so popular, they started including her little corner in the show, how to bake a Christmas turkey without killing the turkey. I loved her.
That's pretty. Hey, how about Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In?
They're every week.
Goldie Hawn. I mean, the two dancers.
Well, with Rowan and Martin's, the reason I watched it is it was so darn interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Very interesting.
Yeah, James Watson brought up one of my favorite stories when John Lennon was hanging out in the LA area because it was his lost weekend, which lasted a year and a half, where he came to LA and him and Yoko were broke up. He started hanging around with Harry Nilsson. Harry Nilsson was in the Alice Cooper's Hollywood Vampires Drinking Club. They met upstairs at the Rainbow on Sunset. And they were the only ones allowed. That room was for them exclusively, and it was like, Alice Cooper was the president. Keith Moon was the vice president. Then you had all kinds of people, a big cast of characters. They even formed a baseball team, would play against cops and firemen and stuff for fundraisers. But Harry Nilsson became great friends with John Lennon. And there's so many stories about those two. And they were at a Smothers Brothers show, as James Watson's mentioning here, at the Troubadour. And the Smothers Brothers were up there performing their little, comedy skit. And Lennon and Harry Nilsson were just wasted. I mean, Harry Nilsson got Lennon into drinking these Brandy Alexander, cocktails. Plus, I guess they were on cocaine and stuff. They were just really messed up. And they sat out there, yelling slurs at the Smothers Brothers, insulting them, putting them down, making fun of them. And if I got the story right, and maybe James, if I'm wrong, you can refresh my memory. Lennon even punched somebody there. It turned into a big fiasco, and they got kicked out. Yeah. So anyway, great. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually thought about it earlier, but I mentioned it so many times. And once you brought it up, I had to get involved with that. Okay, but look what else he said. He said heckling them and wearing a tampon on his forehead. So John Lennon had a tampon on his forehead.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Royce? For the man who is known as the Peace Beatle, he was definitely the most violent Beatle at times.
Right.
Yeah. And this violence, this tendency to violence happened with the editor of the Mersey Beat at, I think it was a relative of Paul McCartney having a wedding, and he beat the shit out of him there. And then he's admitted to hitting Cynthia. So the man was a violent man. He didn't like that he was, and his best nature would write what he wished for the world and for himself. But I don't think he ever really got a hold on that.
Yeah. Okay. You know, there's a question keeps coming up. Dr. Rick is up on the screen right now, and him and Kate are discussing a private chat, and Dr. Rick was wanting to know what it was. Well, I have a menu of little items over here to the right of my screen, and one of them is like I can bring up pictures and stuff that I have saved. I can bring up videos that I have in here saved, and one of them is a private chat. What we have up is the public chat, but every once in a while I'll see some activity, and I didn't see it till somebody brought it up. Right now, there's 79 messages in there, and they're all the same. They're all nasty, insulting messages that I'm not going to go there. But they're all in the private chat, and I went there, and I can click on any message that I've got in the normal chat. There's 3 dots, okay, and I can go up here and click on those 3 dots, and I can delete the comment. I can put the user in timeout, or I can ban the user and delete their comment on any chat that's up there right now. And I went into the private chat, and I remember being able to ban somebody before, but nothing's working in there when I try it now.
You know what, Royce? I never engage with the private chat on my channel, because if you got something to fucking say it in the comments, and if it's inappropriate, we'll deal with you there. Everything's just up front, nothing behind the scenes, man.
Right.
Because the assholes like this exist. 70-something comments, huh?
Oh, it's even more than that. It's a lot. And there's 3 different people in there now.
Yeah.
The private chat is something that only the panelists and the people in the waiting area, and basically in the studio waiting, they're the only ones that have access to the private chat. And now there's 3 different people in the chat. They're obviously
I'm just
the 3 people is probably the same guy on his many different accounts. We know this. It's like fingerprints to identify the Nimrod.
They jumped into the chat when Royce put the link for me to join back in. They use that link, and they're just in the studio just messing around.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking maybe, Royce, if you're able to go in the studio where you can let people in, maybe you could kick them out.
There is one blank. All of us are down below the screen we're all looking at. All of us are down below because we've been in the studio, and we've got miniature pictures of us, moving pictures, that mirror what's going on up above. And there's one that came up, and it says present or invite. And let's see, invite guests, share screen, video, extra camera. No, I'm not going to do any of that.
No.
Let me see.
No.
Who is this person? Okay, I don't want to. Yeah, it's not giving me anything that I can work with right now. So
Royce, I won't. Whether I can get there or not, I refuse to even see this. But since you are aware of it, can't you report them? Can't Chris? Can't Dan? They get more reports. Then it goes to their IP address, and then we'll track them down and have their fucking channel.
Michael, I click on private chat, and it's still moving. And there's no place to do anything. There's no place to report anything. Too bad. And you can't click on anything.
Yeah, don't use private chat and let them spin their wheels from here on out.
Well, I don't. I've never used private chat.
Yeah. I'll agree never to discuss private chat on the channel ever again. And if everybody else agrees to that, then we've shut them down effectively.
Yeah. Like I said, they just got in through the link that you put up for me, Royce.
I think that's what happened. You click that, they click that link, you go backstage, and then you have access to the private chat.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Okay, Kevin Hall, I'm sorry. I want to give you a wrench. I just can't do it during the show, but I will get it done later.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Kevin's been in strong tonight.
Yeah.
If you want, I can. It's already been requested. I noticed in the chat, and I like reading from it. So
yes, please do.
Because this book,
the holy book.
Yeah, but up to 1977, so they hadn't. I don't even know if they'd even started recording "Who Are You" yet. But since I've read from little bits and pieces of this before, I can start at the beginning. But you've pretty much given all the information from there. So if you want, I'll read the last couple of paragraphs they have, which kind of sums up everything they were talking about in this book right now anyways. So I'll start with 1975 with the Who by numbers. Is that okay, Royce?
Sure.
Okay. So 1975, the Who went on the road again and released a new album, The Who by Numbers, that articulated Townshend's disillusionment with the trappings of success and reaffirmed his position as the thinking man's rock musician. Rock music's thinking man. All right, during 1976, the band were largely inactive, though they did play a major concert in October at Oakland, California, and a double bill with the Grateful Dead. In the absence of a new product, The Story of the Who, released in the UK in autumn 1976. And that's just one of their compilations. They have at this point, they already had 3 compilations. Direct Hits, Meaty Beaty, Bing and Bouncy, and The Story of the Who they just mentioned. Okay, so
I noticed that they did that right around the time they started changing to what was the proper Who sound, that Who's Next sound. Then they wanted to, it was smart of them to do that, Chris. Those compilation albums introduced a lot of us to their early stuff,
Well, a lot of their non-album singles, I mean, the only way you could get to them is through those compilations.
Yeah, exactly.
So a decade on from their first days of heady success, the Who are one of the institutions of contemporary culture. They have survived despite constant personality clashes within the band. Yeah, obviously. Because they have always, so far, managed to retain a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. Yeah. Keith Moon issued a solo album, The Two Sides of the Moon, in 1975. It wasn't a very good album, according to Roger Daltrey and John Entwistle. Then some album notes. My Generation was called The Who Sing My Generation in the USA. A Quick One was retitled Happy Jack in the USA, and the track was also added to the US release. Yep. Magic Bus, US only album, was a compilation of tracks previously issued in Britain. After its initial success, Tommy was retailed in the UK as 2 separate albums. Quick One and The Who Sell Out were reissued in 74 as a double back in both Britain and America. Wow, they were already doubling what back then? I didn't know that. And then the last 2 albums they had released at the time of this publishing was Odds and Ends. So a compilation album was composed of fresh material and listed as an original album.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much all I have that's even close to the era of the Who's Next. But, I mean, as we go through, if we have another one, I mean, there's 2 pages worth in the books of the Who. So, I mean, I'm only selecting little bits at times.
Hey, Royce, I think segueing from what Chris just said is now a good time to talk about what you wanted to start to talk about, what they had to offer us as musicians. You were starting to say that, and we kind of got off track.
Yeah, we did. Okay. All right. Well, some accolades here. They did release 12 studio albums. Okay, their latest being Who in 2019. Their discography also includes numerous live albums, compilation albums, and soundtracks. Okay, of course, Tommy and Quadrophenia. I don't have Quadrophenia. I've had Tommy, forever.
Oh, it's great. It's better than Tommy.
I look for it. I just haven't found it yet. As far as like
I mean, Tommy's got some wonderful stuff, but Quadrophenia as a whole album, just as a long play versus the long play of Tommy, I think Quadrophenia, I would rank it much higher than Tommy. Not much.
Everybody seems to rank. Everybody seems to rank it higher.
Oh, it's very. I saw them during their Quadrophenia tour, so I'm a little bit guilty. I saw them live as the Who that night. I also got to see Leonard Skinner, the original Leonard Skinner. Pete Moon passed out before my very eyes. I mean, my God, I had a big story about how I got there. I was lit to the ceilings when they got on. So. What I saw, some people reported 2 punches. I saw maybe 1. I saw him go down, and I was there when Pete Townshend got up to the. Was it Pete? It may have been Roger, but I thought it was Pete who got up. I was lit, but he got up there and said, "We need a drummer from the audience to continue." And this kid got up there, and so Quadrophenia is a big freaking ticket item for me. I would say probably my second favorite Who album.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Like I said, I want to get it.
Oh, it's good, Royce. It's good.
Right. Okay.
Myself, I've never actually listened to Quadrophenia all the way through. I listened to part of it when I was younger, and I didn't mind it, but I never really got back to it. And then also, I think only my dad or my uncle had the album. And the other ones, they just said they didn't even get that. Although everybody says it was great, barely anybody had it. So I never really got much exposure to it, except for the hits and the singles that are played on the radio. So.
Right. Gotcha. I didn't have a quad system, but quad systems were being encouraged. The Ultra Rich had them, and the album was released in quadraphonic stereo.
I had a quadraphonic system.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dan always does that to me.
Well,
foiled again.
Well, the bad thing about those quadraphonic systems, you had to sit in the right exact spot for it to work.
Yeah.
Well,
in mixing in the studio, and I've never been in a proper studio. I've always been in friends' homemade studios, or I've had a homemade studio. And in the studio, I had a system where I could create a quad playback of what it was I was mixing down, but I didn't have the equipment to mix it into quad or anything like that. But it was always I hear what you're talking about, Dan. You have to be dead center for that shit.
Yeah, first of all, you have to have 4 speakers. You have to have a quadraphonic amplifier. You have to have a quadraphonic turntable and a quadraphonic album. So it was a lot of investment, and there weren't a whole lot of quadraphonic albums out there.
No, there wasn't.
Right. That's a big problem.
And they were gone in a flash. I mean, there was like an initial hustle for this, and there was a secondary market of people second-handly coming in and handling some of this. But a lot of that quadraphonics was about as fake as what was initially used in fake stereo stamps of the Beatles stuff,
Right. Well, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, probably all are, but I mean, Townshend actually delivered some of his most ambitious and intricate arrangements on Who Are You? Okay. Incorporating layers of synthesizers and strings into the Who's powerful backing tracks. Okay. So I thought that was kind of interesting, But to move on, I mean, when it comes to like the live and compilation albums, Oh man, well, Who's been around for a really long time, as we all know. But their full discography contains 18 live albums, 36 compilations. That's a lot, along with other releases like soundtrack albums, and singles.
No, like I said before, they have handled their discography probably smarter than any other band on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of talent there. They're not. I don't know. Would you rank them in your top 10, your top 20?
Well, let's take a look at them individually. First of all, Keith Moon would be my second favorite drummer. John Entwistle, either my second or third favorite basses. And together they had a rhythm section that was even tighter than Led Zeppelin, because John Paul Jones played over what Bonham was playing, because Bonham was locked into Jimmy Page. So you don't often talk about the rhythm section of Led Zeppelin, because it sometimes almost didn't exist. Sometimes it did very well when it was allowed. So then you've got Ringo and Paul of the Beatles. Okay, Paul's excellent bass player, and Ringo is a great drummer, but limited. So you wouldn't put those guys up. Yes, they have so many drummers and basses combinations. The closest to me would be Chris Squire on bass and Bill Bruford. I think he was a better fit with locking into Chris Squire's bass. So, but that changed. So that leaves the Who with the very best rhythm section of rock and roll. Now, Pete Townshend, one of the greatest lead guitarists, not by a freaking long shot, but he makes up for it because he's a freaking songwriter, and he's one of the best songwriters. And then Roger Daltrey, is he the best vocalist in rock? No, but he looks like he is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this band had tons, and he was a great vocalist. I'm not cutting him down, but he didn't have the chops of the masters of rock, but he had great range, and he presented the Who perfectly. This band had tons to offer.
And he was very clear on the albums. You could make out, for like, compared to other bands and their albums, you could pretty well make out most of the Who's lyrics just by listening to his singing, which a lot of singers can't really boast that. So
yes, yeah, good point, Chris. Good point.
No, that there's a lot of
and
talent.
Also to go along with what you're saying, Michael, about the rhythm section and that, like I was saying earlier, one of the short biographies and that I was watching about them, John Entwistle was saying that he said, of all the bands he's played with, before and after the Who and all that, he said he was the hardest drummer to play with, because he says he doesn't always follow a rhythm that you can lock into,
right?
Like most drummers and bass, they can lock into each other. And he was saying between him, like John Entwistle, and Pete Townshend, that they almost played opposite of what they did, because the bass was playing off of his cymbals and the guitar was playing off his bass. And that's how they kind of figured out each other when they were playing live on stage.
And good point, because when you think about it, with the rare exceptions of harp and stuff like that, that's the entire band. They'd better find a way to lock in, right, Chris?
Yeah, he said, because he said sometimes he'd just go, and he says, I'd just be playing along with the song, and then Keith would give me a chance to breathe, and I'd jump in and do a thing, and then he just, you just, like he said, I'd play off the cymbals, and Pete would kind of play off the bass, and they just, where he said,
I'm sorry, I've been off air.
That's all good. Hope your back's feeling okay, my friend.
Yeah, it's one of those nights, folks. You know what I was going to say, too? Here's another thing as a total band they had to offer, Chris. of course, Roger Daltrey always nailing it in, identifying the song, the melody, the lyrics, and enunciating very well and had a great range. But you have three musicians for the vast majority of the time. You have a drummer, you have a bass player, you have a guitarist, and the guitarist isn't Jimmy Page. He's good, but he's nowhere near, he wouldn't be in my top 10, not even my top 20, but he'd be in my top 10 of songwriters. Okay, so keep that in mind. But so the orchestrational elements, and he does a fine job at doing this, should come traditionally from Pete Townshend, and he does a fine job doing that. But it's not only the bass and drum connection between and the staccato bass, the trebly bass that just enunciates each and every note, because sometimes a muffled bass, you don't know the note the bass player knows he's on, but you're feeling it more than hearing it. So his bass was very listenable in the moment, and he'd be doing the orchestration. He'd be doing the brass sounds, and Pete Townshend capturing the high strings in an orchestrational way. I'm not saying playing like those things, but it comes off to me as a listener like that.
See, another thing with John Entwistle, the story of when Pete Townshend met John Entwistle, that the bass player or the bass he was carrying, that the instrument that he saw him carrying, was a homemade bass. He made up his own bass. And he started playing Dwayne Eddy tunes. I think I got that right, on his bass. So he taught himself how to play guitar songs on his bass. So that's one of the reasons he naturally became a lead. Like the bass was almost like a lead guitar with a lot of the Who songs, as you guys know.
Yeah. Only he stayed a lot of the time in the low register doing that, where Chris Squire would go. A lot of people would claim Chris Squire was rock's first lead guitar bassist. That's their criticism of it. I love him, but anyway, that's why
Chris Squire would definitely be considered more of that, just the way is structured.
Yeah, he had to be, and he did it great. Yeah.
Well, with John, another Pete Townshend was saying, he's, in rock at that time in the early 60s and whatever, he said bass was kind of a newer kind of a novelty. He said you got the stand-up bass and everything. Yeah. He said Fender probably, or one of the companies, invented the bass, to make it easier in the studios than having to carry a big one. And he was saying that John Entwistle, he kind of changed the instrument, the way it was played, the way it was, even right from the very beginning. And he says, if you're standing there and you're just doing this, and that's so boring. And so Townshend, he says, well, John Entwistle didn't want to look boring, so he dropped it down lower, and then he played it with a pick instead of just pulling the strings. And so Pete Townshend gives John Entwistle so much credit on just not only being such a great bass player, but actually changing the instrument and bring it more to the forefront, where it was just, just playing with the drums and
rhythm section. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. I concur.
Okay, I want to ask the panel.
Sorry, Rice.
Okay,
I didn't mean to cut you off. One quick little trivia question: who was the original lead guitar player for the Who?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Roger Daltrey was.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
Wow.
And they were actually called the Who, and then they became the High Numbers because the management said the Who, what the hell was that? So after they became the High Numbers, they realized, what? Let's call ourselves the Who again. So they were actually the Who at two different times, separated by being the High Numbers.
Gotcha. That's crazy.
I knew they were called the High Numbers, but I hadn't heard that Roger Daltrey. Frankly, I'm not such a Roger Daltrey fan that I knew he even played guitar. To tell you the truth, it doesn't surprise me, but he was never featured in front of me doing that.
Well,
So
he was explaining the reason he wanted to play guitar is he first saw Elvis, and Elvis was playing guitar. So he said, I just went, there was a guitar shop. He said, I measured through the window, and my family was into construction. So I went and got all the wood and everything. I put it together and, like I glued the frets on and whatever he said.
Jesus.
And he goes, one thing I forgot to realize though, when you're measuring through a window, it's going to come out a lot bigger. But that's what Roger Daltrey, he said he taught himself that like he learned how to play. And apparently I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently he even taught Pete Townshend a few chords before he just resigned and let Townshend play guitar as the lead.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's surprised a couple of people. Rockin' Robin agrees with you. She goes, wow.
Yeah. Well, because Townshend was actually the third guitarist. They had another rhythm guitarist that they said wasn't good enough, and they brought in Pete on rhythm guitar originally.
Smartest move they ever made.
Eric Schultz, thank you. He's complimenting us. He likes the show. Thank you so much. I left him a comment too. I just have to ask everybody, where do you rank The Who? Do you rank them in your top 10? I don't think I put them in my top 10. I think I could probably fit them in the top 20 towards the end. How do you where would you guys put them? Top 10, top 20, not even in the top 20, top 5?
Oh, probably. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
I would put them in my top 10.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I would too. Not necessarily based on their individual albums, because I mean, I love the Who's Next is the best. I love Tommy. I have Live at Leeds, and like I said, and I very much appreciate it again, Royce. But after the second time listening through this, I definitely enjoy this. But those are the only original albums I have of theirs. But the compilations are what does it for me with them, because
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
album tracks are really cool if you're familiar with the album. Otherwise, the greatest hits is what attracts to you, anyways, for the most part. So
no, that's right.
So based on that, I would definitely put The Who in my top 10.
Something that The Who did for me, I first was introduced to The Who in 1967. And it wasn't, I think it was in 1969 they came out with Tommy. I think it was in 69. And then in 72, the London Symphony Orchestra did Tommy. And to me, I thought, well, I love The Who and Tommy. I got to hear what London Symphony Orchestra, how they did it, So I bought that album, listened to the London Symphony Orchestra doing Tommy. And at that point, I thought, how cool is that a rock band can, they didn't work together, but for have a symphony to play rock music, I thought was really cool. And since then, I've seen a lot of bands work with orchestras, for some of their songs. And I think it works out great. I love hearing the orchestra and the rock band together. So that was the first.
For me, Dan, I'd put them in my top 10. Personally, but they'd be at either number 6, 7, 8-ish around there. Yeah. Now these are monsters, mind you. These are monsters. I bought all their albums. Okay, so but dig this. I have a list of the top 13 bands in rock and roll. I'm only going to name the top 5 tonight. Okay. Number 1, the Beatles. Number 2, Led Zeppelin. This is chosen by the tribe, by the way. This is not my list. Number 3, Pink Floyd. Number 4, the Rolling Stones. And number 5, the Who. So my personal indication, I wouldn't rank them quite that high, because Yes would have to be higher than them. Deep Purple would have to be higher than them. Black Sabbath would have to be higher than them, and possibly Queen, being higher than them. But then they say, well, look at the company that's beating them on my list. But I go with my tribe, brother, and so I'm representing them as the 5th greatest band tonight on the Four Horsemen. I rep my tribe.
Well, I think that's cool. It really works great for the show too.
Yeah,
I said top 20 because it's like you were saying. You're going to have Beatles, you're going to have Led Zeppelin, you're going to have Pink Floyd. I'd probably listen to more Black Sabbath in Aussie than I do The Who even. And
oh yeah, me too.
Then I've got bands that I've loved, like the Cream, the Rolling
we caught him, guys. We caught him.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, damn it.
Oh,
Okay.
The man doxed himself, Dan.
I did that intentionally.
Well, I thought so.
Of course he did. That's his story, and he's sticking with it, folks.
I have to go with what I've listened the most of. You know, bands like the Cream, and you know. And I could
go with it, Royce. When you're on a roll, go with it.
I could just go on and on, and but definitely in the top 20. I'd really have to sit down, but all day long in the top 20. I don't think I could go top 5. I could almost put them, in the top 10, but
yeah.
There's just so much that I would listen to.
They'd be definitely. I mean, if it personally, they'd be in the top 10.
Do you like Santana or the Who? Who would you put up above that?
Yeah, no, Santana. I like. Let's see. That's a tough one to call. Yeah. I might flip on Santana over the Who a bit, maybe. Yeah. But on any given day, I'd go no. There's Who's Next. There's Quadrophenia. Sorry.
Right.
Right. And Santana doesn't have one individual album that stands out quite that much. So, as I reflect here live on the air.
I like Abraxas and the first Santana a lot.
Yeah, and I got both those albums, of course, and I have a teeny weeny record collection. Get your minds out of the gutter.
That's not what she said.
Kimberly, have you been telling tales out of school? I don't know. Somebody's calling me Spindle Dick up here.
I don't have a clue.
I think that was you. I think that was you, Michael.
She just said, I haven't got a clue about what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine tuning out to that conversation.
No, okay. But to me, you compare the greatest Santana album to the greatest Who album. I give it a slight edge to the Who. But consistent albums after consistent albums, because the one thing I would compare very favorably to to Who's Next is Caravanserai, my favorite Santana album.
I have that too. Yeah,
isn't that a wondrous album? Oh my God.
It's great. Yeah.
Occasional vocals. It's a musical expression with occasional vocals and bits of songs. Flavor. Right. Nobody's done an album like that since Santana.
Al Bell says Who is number 4 for him.
Yeah. Oh God! We got people out in the peanut gallery right now saying, "Are you freaking kidding me? The Who are number 1." Okay.
I see somebody in the chat.
I can understand that.
People. I see somebody in the chat saying, "I think Pete Townshend was always jealous of Zeppelin." I'll tell you. I'll tell you who Zeppelin was jealous of. That was Grand Funk Railroad.
Okay.
Because Grand Funk Railroad opened for Zeppelin, and they didn't like the fact that Grand Funk was getting such a great response from the audience.
Huge audience, yeah.
And they started unplugging some of their equipment. I think it was Grand Funk where the Zeppelin guys started unplugging their
I heard that story. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that story.
Yeah. Well, and of course, I think at number 12 or 13 is Grand Funk. The Tribe chose Grand Funk. And guess what? Mark Farner, greatest lead guitarist in the world? Nope. Greatest vocalist? Nope. Was the drummer the greatest vocalist? No. The greatest drummer? Boy, he's tipping there. He's really good. But no. Best bassist? No, but very good. But the three of them, I notice I don't mention Craig Frost here. But although they did some good stuff with him, but I like my Grand Funk Railroad as a trio, man. And collectively, they could manage a sound that would absolutely challenge the mighty Zepp. There's a reason they're on my list. And the tribe chose them, not me. They would have been in my top 20, not my top 13. But the tribe thought elsewise.
And Grand Funk is one of the only older bands that could still get together with all the original members.
No shit, man. Isn't it about time? I was hoping when you and Royce interviewed Mark Farner that one of you would go, when in the hell are you guys going to get your heads out of your asses? You know, I think Mark would have gone with it. I think if I'd been on that interview, man, that's why Dan made sure I wasn't. I'm not an interviewer. You know, I don't try to set up interviews because I'm going to ask and talk about what I fucking want to talk about, too. And I would have asked that guy right there live on the air, when are you guys going to get your fucking heads out of your asses and do the tour that we all know you're capable of? And then I would have asked him, why did you find it necessary to make top billing money when you already got extra money as the prime songwriter when you guys did get back together? So Dan very wisely did not have me on that interview.
Well, we did kind of talk about before we went on the air.
Yeah.
And basically what he was saying that he approached the other two guys. Mark Farner approached the other two guys and said, "Look, man, we get back together, we can make some Grand Funk money."
Yeah.
You know, and the two guys said, "We're already making Grand Funk money."
No, they're not, though.
Yeah, and they're not.
They're not at all. Because I guarantee you, the real Grand Funk steps up and does a world tour. Watch out, Oasis.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Watch out, Oasis.
Well, guys, I think we're winding down. You know, like I said, I put it.
I've been winding down for years, Royce.
I put the Who in my top 20. Michael, you went with the Tribes picks, and you got them at, what'd you say, number 7?
Number 5, and they'd be 7 or 8 personally, but I'm going to go with the Tribe tonight. They are a top 5 band.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Chris, where do you have them?
Based on what I listen to the most often, I'd definitely put Zeppelin first. Probably Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
I don't know. AC/DC.
The Tribe's number 2 guitarist, by the way, Stevie Ray.
Yeah. Like Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the Stones, the Who's up there. The Tragically Hip, I like the Canadian band there. Like I said, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
So essentially, definitely in your top 10, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely. Like I said, as far as like compilation albums, if I was just going to go with a compilation album, I'd likely have the Who on a compilation album, or I would just stick with Who's Next, and then what else?
Yeah. Man, you know, and there's people who just, I got Who's Next, that's it. And there's so much music on it, and they should be in the top 10 just for that freaking album alone.
Yeah, James Watson S. and Where's Nickelback? Nickelback's good, but they're not my cup of tea. I don't really.
Nickelback, I love them, and I think they get a bad rap, and now all the hate mail can come to me because I love them. I think they're great. Chad and company do a great job.
They wouldn't be on my best of list is all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like them, especially the fact that they're Canadian to start with.
Yeah. I put them in my top 30 bands, but not maybe in the top 20.
Oh, yeah. Michael, I just put a message on screen. I wanted you to see. It's White Zoom Event 57 is talking about a herbal supplement that could really help the back. I just didn't know if you saw that or not.
White Willow. Okay, I'll check into it. Thank you, Zuma.
Thank you.
Zuma and I have been talking back and forth all over, man. Very, very active in the comments and stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So Dan, where would you stick the Who? Top 10?
They'd definitely be my top 10. I kind of agree with Michael. Probably 8. They'd probably be about number 8.
Yeah.
So we have one panelist that would put them in the top 20. One panelist, 3 panelists that would put them in the top 3, and an entire tribe that puts them in the top 5.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad for a bunch of guys who play first base.
But who's on second?
I don't know.
I don't know. What's on third?
Yeah.
Plus, we're looking back. We're looking at 60 years worth of different bands too. I mean, that's 60 years.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of bands.
There's a lot of bands to choose from in 60 years, right?
Like another band that I've only listened to in the last few years. Well, longer than that now. Holy shit, 10 years since I saw Sabbath. But it's Rival Sons. I listen to them a lot too.
Yeah, me too. And you know what? On my last Wednesday or Tuesday stream, it's the least viewed stream I ever got. I was streaming on a night I don't stream on at a time I don't stream at, and but I read off the top 20 albums of 2025 according to UCR, and a band that I have been championing since the dawn of my channel. That's a relatively new band, along with Rival Sons, Chris. And of course, I'm talking about Dirty Honey. Their newest live album is in the top 20 best albums of 2025. Hallelujah, folks. Isn't that something? I called it. Oh, yeah. I called it way back when, man.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I think we're gonna sign off here now.
Okay.
I want to thank everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you guys, joining us and helping us out, being a part of it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like the chat. The chat, you guys are just fantastic. I really appreciate
all rock stars, man.
All of you. Oh, absolutely. And so then I want to thank the panel, Michael, Chris, Dan the man. You guys were fantastic tonight. Excellent job.
Oh, and stop it, Royce. You're fantastic.
And that's what's happening in Royce's world today. Thank you all so much. And we are signing off, baby. We're
with dancing hands.
Yeah,
with dancing hands.
Oh, wait. Look at that. Somebody sent in.
Oh, Michael Boswell.
Oh, all right.
To the rescue. Michael, great move. Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it, brother.
Michael and I have been talking back and forth on one of my latest videos. Always good to hear from Michael. I love him. He doesn't agree with he and I actually agree on a lot of things, but there are a significant a number of things we don't. But we don't let our disagreements get in the way of a good friendship online. I always appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so much for supporting my good buddy Royce here.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. And I want to just say we've been joined by somebody I've seen on some of the other shows, Tokyo Record Style. How you doing, brother?
Brian,
thanks for jumping in here and checking us out. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I check Brian's live streams when I can. He usually streams at a time that I'm writing my next video and everything. But a man of eloquence, no doubt. Brian, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you here. We appreciate you joining.
I want to let you.
Brian is another example of someone we don't always agree. You know, he has a different approach, but I always appreciate his you can always see, even if I don't agree with somebody, if they give me a counter with some intelligence behind it, then I go, well, maybe I don't know everything after all. You know, Brian's one of those guys.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, want to let you know, in 2 weeks I won't be on the panel. I'm going to be over in London. So
you're going to be. How long are you going to be there, Dan?
I'll get right back right before Christmas.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Okay.
So, were you going to be here?
You were supposed to go on secret assignment.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Hey, I am one of us. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll be here next. I'll be here next week. I just won't be here in 2 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
Now, where could he be going? What will he be doing? Shh, don't anyone tell. It's a secret.
Well, everybody better be safe and careful so we can all see each other next week.
Yeah, that'd be good. A good plan, my man.
And to everybody out there who needs it, good prayers and wishes and everything else to you.
Absolutely.
Ditto.
All right. See you later.
All right. Hey guys. It's okay, Brian. We appreciate seeing you here. All right, folks. So we're signing off, and thank you all so much for being here. And I'm just trying to get to the end of the chat.
Good luck with that. It's ongoing.
It's never easy. It's never easy.
Dr.
Folks.
Rick's in. That's good. Caitlin's in. Yay.
Dr. Rick, Kate. We got Rockin' Robin Bird hanging with us.
Yeah. We got all the usual suspects out
the
there.
usual suspects. Got my good buddy. Oh my God. Let's see. Okay, Kevin Hall surfing, who I'm going to get a wrench to. And let's see.
And well deserving, I might add.
Yeah, well deserving.
And folks, we're signing off. We
Dr.
didn't hit
Rick.
50 tonight, but we got 4/5 of the way there. If you're watching this on replay, give us a thumbs up because that 50 will help the replay. Okay? So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Hey, Bill K. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it.
Hey, Bill.
I know you're a busy man, but we appreciate seeing you. Okay, yeah. So I don't know where we were for thumbs up, but we must have been in the 40s,
40.
I suppose. Okay.
Yeah, we got 40, so we're 10 away. It can still be
anybody that hasn't hit it yet, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe and hit
But
the
you know what?
notification bell.
Your peak was into the 40s tonight, from what I could see. Royce, you had a good crowd in tonight. Good.
There was a
Very
good crowd. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Okay, guys. So thank you all, and good night. See you all.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
See ya.
Right.